What we're going to do tonight, we're going to look at the forward forecast. There's another major cold wave that's going to come into place. It's not going to dive real deep south, I don't believe, at this time. Um, but we're going to look at that next major cold front comes in. Then after that comes through, y'all, it's going to warm up. Looks like we're going to have a hot Christmas in the south. Most of the west is going to have a hot Christmas. Northeast, you're going to be below normal. Up in the northeast, you're going to have a cold Christmas. I love how some of these Facebook pages try to glorify in amusement, almost some of the things they say. Oh, I got this right or I got that right. You know what, y'all? Have you ever heard me ever say that kind of stuff? If you got to go to the point of having to say those kind of things, you might want to look at yourself in the mirror a little bit and say, "Wow, you know, who am I here?" I don't think I've ever said I was right. Now, one thing I do say is this: I do say that what I'm right 100% of the time. Okay, that is something I do say. Let me exit this music here. That is something I do say that I'm right 100% of the time. Why? Why? Well, it's because I follow the models. The models change, I change with the models. That's what we do. We follow the models. The models are always going to be correct eventually. When you do long range forecasting like I do here, those models are going to be off. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means the models are wrong. That's all that means. All right, y'all. Let's get going here. Okay, Storm Prediction Center. There's nothing out there at all in the first 2 days. I expedited this to day 3, which is Tuesday, Wednesday timeline, and there's a chance of some severe weather there in Texas, as you can see. And if you go out in days 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they don't really show anything out there predictability wise of any concern. Does not mean now, okay, that for instance on Thursday, okay, that there might be some severe weather as a possibility, especially in the Mississippi, Alabama, and maybe Louisiana region. There is going to be a possibility of some severe weather there. And I looked at the models here, and here's the European model I'm going to use as a basis here. Now let's just watch this, okay? I'll zoom there a little tighter so you can see the lightning strikes. We are smart enough to know that if we don't have lightning, we don't have severe weather, right? We know that now. You guys that follow me long enough know that I follow lightning a lot. And if I don't have lightning, I don't have severe weather, y'all. It's just the way it works. Well, I'm getting into Wednesday here now. And you see a little bit of lightning activity there in Texas right there. Right there is where they have from the Storm Prediction Center that possibility of some severe weather right there. And notice where it's at, right there along the Texas coast. And it does show up there here on the European model with lightning strikes. Okay, y'all, it does not appear that it's a major significant threat level. Okay, so but what it is going to do is maybe bring some very needed rain to the very South Texas region that needs rain badly. So that's the positive side of that I see. It's just going to bring some very needed rain to areas that doesn't get a lot of rain as a norm. So that's a good thing right there, y'all. That's really a good thing. All right, now let's watch the rest of it now. When's the next, if you want to call it that, major event? Well, there's December the 18th. That's Thursday. A little bit of lightning up there in the Tennessee region up there, as you can see. Again, I don't think of anything a major severe factor until it gets down here in the south, and there it is right there in the Mississippi, Alabama, and getting a little bit there in Louisiana region. Y'all, again, strong lightning there. Yeah, it's not real strong stuff. If you look at the parameters there, the dew points there, there's dew points there, sufficient dew points there. If you got green, that means you have sufficient dew points there for severe weather. If you look at the other parameters here, let's look at surface cap as a norm. Do we have surface cap there? Well, there is surface cap there. So we have a little bit of cap in that area with dew points that are sufficient enough But what do the other things look like that we got to have? Well, we got to have a 500 millbar wind that's howling. Well, that's there. Okay, you see that wind is really screaming through there at 500 millbars. That's saying we got some possibility of. No, what I'm looking for is tornadic activity. Do we have sufficient wind there at 500 millbars for tornado activity? Well, yes, of course there is. Now here's where the things get differently. Okay, as a maybe. If we go to 700 millibars, that wind is still strong. Okay, now where does it look like at the lower levels of wind? What I mean at the surface, we got to have a wind coming out of the south like this into this wind shear up here. Let's look and see where that wind is coming from. And y'all, if you look at it real closely here, I'm zooming in here. We do have winds that are coming out of the south. So when you look at that lightning right there that we've seen, okay, is it sufficient for tornado activity? Well, if the parameters alone say yes, it is. What's the K index in the area? We got a K index in the near 40 degrees, near 40. So the K index is high enough there as well. So it's too far out to know exactly what it's going to look like. What we got to have? Well, we need an HR model, right? So we have to watch the HR model to see the parameters are there, and the rotation in the atmosphere is there to support the possibility of tornadic activity there, say in Kentucky and Tennessee region. And there's that lightning again. Let me show you. There's that lightning. You can see it right there moving through, say, Tennessee, mainly Mississippi and Alabama region right there, as you can see. So the parameters are there, guys. Now, whether or not it happens or not, I don't have any idea. But things are in place to give us a possibility of some severe weather. There's what looks like at, let me back this up here. That's what it looks like at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Thursday. That's 1 p.m. And down here, say in that area there, that's what it looks like at 10 p.m. on Thursday. So really from, I'm going to say western Kentucky through Tennessee, into Mississippi and Alabama, into Georgia, there's going to be a chance, and I do mean a chance, of some severe weather. It's just a chance. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like until I get the HR model in play. I don't know what it's going to be. So we'll have to watch that, okay? And besides this, is there any other, say, what I would call a severe weather threat? A little bit of lightning right there, but it doesn't look very strong at all. Well, guys, we've already passed Christmas. We're all the way out to December 27th. Don't see anything, y'all. Don't see nothing. Nothing really out there at all to say that there's a severe weather chance. So outside of what's coming in here Thursday, there's no other severe threat level. So Thursday, we do need to watch Thursday to see what that's going to look like. It's in this area right here. Don't know if it's going to have any severe threat level is going to be there or not. But the possibilities are there because the parameters are all linked into that right now. The parameters are all there, y'all. It's all there. All right, now, we're going to get into something else here now. There's definitely a problem up here. Up here in the state of Washington area. Guys, they're in trouble. And I mean they're in serious trouble. I looked at the HR model here. And I pulled up. There is a foot. Now listen to me. There is a foot of rain on this HRR model over the next 48 hours. A foot of rain. Now they already got a crisis problem going on there already with the rivers already full. Well, unfortunately, they got 12 more inches of rain coming in that area right there. 12 more inches of rain. And again, there is no wonder that the Weather Prediction Center has what they have here with flash flood possibilities. Here's what it looks like tomorrow. Notice it goes to yellow, slight risk. It's down in the Portland area. Portland, Oregon, you're in that slight risk. Day 3, does it improve? Well, stays marginal risk, and then it gets down into California a little bit. Then day 4, does it improve? Still got flash flood risk here. Then day 5, y'all, we go back to slight risk here again for flash flooding up here in the Northeast. There is a river, and I do mean a river of rain and precipitation that's coming from the, I'm going to call it the Pineapple Express, basically coming near Hawaii, moving all the way up there into the northwest. Bad, yeah, it could be really bad there. I mean, it could be really bad there. Near those rivers and streams area there in the state of Washington and Oregon, and getting there in Idaho. Y'all, say prayers for that area up there, because they're already in bad problems up there. There's so many people up there that's homes are destroyed right before Christmas here. Lives turned upside down, and it's not going to improve, y'all. It may even get worse before it ever gets better. Man, don't see much of an end and stopping right there with the rain right there. It eventually calmed down. But right now, it just doesn't appear over the next, say, 7 days that rain's going to stop there in that area, and they're in a bad position there right now. All right, now we're going to get into the Christmas stuff, the fun stuff, right? All right, here's our anomaly here. Look at the cold air in place here for tonight. From today. Y'all, it is viciously cold air in that central region right there. Man, the Ohio Valley region is just... I just talked to my brother right there. He said, man, it's cold out there. He said, I ain't kidding you. It is cold. Well, yeah, it is cold. And it's going to stay cold for the next, say, 48 hours. And you look at that cold air. I mean, look at the wind chill. Y'all, that is 8, 9, 10 degrees below zero wind chill. At 3 p.m. today it was. Now look what happens tonight. There's 7 a.m. tonight. Wind chills of minus 13 degrees there in the Indianapolis area. I mean, single digit down there in Kentucky. Single digit across southern parts of Illinois. Single digit back there in Missouri. Got teens and single digit there in Tennessee. Single digit over there in there, say in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. 6 degrees wind chill tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Teens, they're in the Mississippi region. You go to the southeast. Do we get cold here a little bit? Oh, Panhandle cools down in the 20s. 20s with wind chill. Wind chill in the 20s there for tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Let's go forward. Now, boy, up here in the Northeast, frigid cold too. Just absolutely frigid cold up here in the Northeast. I don't know who's going to go to New York this week or next week, but you better be bringing some really cold weather gear. Now, here is Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. There's a 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Improvement a little bit there in Indiana. You're 10 degrees. Down here in Tampa Bay, 40 to 44 degrees wind chill Tuesday morning. 43-degree wind chill Tuesday morning. Pretty nippy. 23 degrees wind chill in the Panhandle. You look over there into Texas at 7 a.m. in the morning. And let's go to South Central region here. You're in the 40s and 30s there, almost across the entire state except South Texas. You're in the low 60s there, about 60. What does that say? Maybe 69 degrees there in South Texas, very southern tip of Texas. It's probably because you're closer to the water right there. But when you get away from the water, guys, it's pretty nippy. Louisiana, 28 degrees Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Arkansas, Little Rock area, 23, 24, 25 degrees in the area there for Tuesday morning. Then we go to Wednesday morning. Now we got a heat wave coming. Look at that heat building there in Texas. Here's Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. 60s are moving up the coastline there in Texas, isn't it? Then we're getting into the 20s and 30s. I mean, kind of probably the norm. Yeah, slightly above normal. Look at the east all of a sudden. Now we got building heat wave here. Now slightly below normal here in the southeast, as you can see, slightly below normal, just slightly. Nothing crazy. Maybe 10 degrees there below normal in there in Georgia, but down in Tampa Bay, 3 or 4 degrees below normal, only slightly. Now, when's the next big cold front coming in? Look at that heat wave just building. Boom. Look at December the 18th, Thursday. That's just Thursday. Look at this. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 degrees above normal. Big time heat wave here. Look at this. Way above normal there on Thursday. Now, here comes some colder air now. Now, how far south does this move? Now, is it going to get cold again? Well, it is. You see that purple moving there in the area. But y'all, it's not as bad as it was, say, this morning and tomorrow morning. It's not nearly as bad. People up in Wisconsin, Minnesota say, yeah, right, Tim. Yeah, right. It's 23 degrees below normal up here with a apparent temperature up there of minus 13, 16 degrees. Indianapolis area around 12. Now, and look at that green stays up north, doesn't it? Doesn't get down here. And going forward, do you see outside of the East Coast? Now the Northeast up here, it's cold. It's downright cold. It's going to stay cold up there in the Northeast. Look at the Northeast. 7 a.m. on next Monday. This is the Monday before Christmas. Now let's watch this real closely. Monday before Christmas, got below 0 wind chills up here. Out, it's 13 degrees there in New York area at 7 a.m. on the 22nd. 13 degrees wind chill. I'm telling y'all, bundle up in the Northeast. It's going to be very cold in New York area. It's going to stay cold. Here's Christmas Eve. Now, I'm going to go at 7 a.m. in the morning. This is Christmas Eve. Now, notice where this green is at. It's all up there in Canada, isn't it? For the most part, except up there in the Northeast. Then you go over here down in the south. Look at this. 64 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning here in Tampa Bay. 64. Go to the central region. 43 degrees. 43 to about 40 degrees, or maybe they're in the Indianapolis area. 51 to 47 degrees in Evansville, Indiana. Nice. Paducah, Kentucky. You're about 56, 57 on Christmas Eve at 7 a.m. Nashville, about 61 degrees. 7 a.m. on Christmas morning. On Christmas Eve. Then you can see the 60s down here. So, y'all, it above normal? Yeah, it is. Quite a bit above normal. Way above normal, actually. So, Christmas Eve looks like we're going to be above normal. Look back here out west. Way above normal here, too. Way above normal in the west. Here's the west coast. Look at this. Way above normal. Notice all the purples up here, isn't it? Stays up here in Canada. Now, is it going to make its way after Christmas? Or are we going to get a really big shot of cold air coming? Are we going to get that big shot of cold air coming? Well, let's watch the forecast there now. Now, this is Christmas Eve. Let's go to Christmas morning now again. Let's put the apparent temperature up here. Here's Christmas morning. Oops, there it is. There's 7 a.m. on Christmas morning. All y'all that's got little kids, they're already up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We know that. They're up. Those little boys and girls are ready to sling the paper and see what's under the tree and look outside, see if they got a trampoline or a bicycle or electric car or electric Jeep to drive, like somebody in our household's going to have. So it looks, look at the temperature at 7 a.m. Y'all, very tolerable. My gosh. I mean, look at the anomaly. Way above normal. Way above normal. The east. Above normal down here in Tampa Bay. Above normal in the whole southeast. Only places below normal is where? Up here in the northeast. So northeast is going to have a cold Christmas morning. The rest of the country as a whole, y'all, I can tell you, it looks like it's above normal temperatures. Now, I know there was one person out there that runs a weather page, and I'm not going to say who it is or anything like that. Could be a meteorologist, may not be a meteorologist. I don't know what. I'll just say this. They're putting a lot of ifs out there. Y'all, there's no ifs here. This is more than likely what it's going to be. If you look at the GFS model for Christmas morning as well, what does it look like? Is there a big difference between it? A little bit. You can see in the west out here is really warm. The central region here is slightly below normal here on the GFS model. You go to the East Coast over here, again, it's below normal. Florida, we're above normal. So there's a slight difference between the European model and the GFS model right now. Just a slight difference. The biggest difference is, say, the Ohio Valley region. On the GFS model, it's trending a little bit below normal. But y'all, it's not Is it a big deal? It's not. It's just only slightly below normal. With the wind chill there on and that in the 20s and 21 degrees, you're only just a couple, 2 or 3 degrees below what the normal conditions would be expected there in an area. So it's not really a big deal. If you go to the actual temperature there, you're in the mid 20s in Ohio Valley region, the upper 20s. So it's not like it's really horrible weather here. Is my point. It doesn't appear that way. And again, I'm gonna put up an anomaly here again now. Now let's watch as we go forward. Now here's where the models start differing a little bit at this point in time. I'm gonna go back to leave the central region right here for the GFS. Now the GFS model has a big, huge warm up on the 26th. You see that? I mean, just crazy warm up here, right there. Look at it. Look at this. 61 to 62 degrees, y'all, in Indiana on the 26th. I mean, unbelievable temperatures here. And you go to the east, Tampa Bay at 7 p.m. on the 26th. We're about 65 degrees here. The only place it's cold is in the mountains. They're along North Carolina and Tennessee line in the Virginia area. And then up here in the Northeast, it's cold. Up here in the Great Lakes, y'all, it's expected to be cold there. It's expected, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Is it an anomaly there? No, it's above normal. Look at that. Even though it showed up cold, okay, it's still 10 degrees above normal there. So you see what the GFS is doing. It's putting a major dome of heat coming in here. Now, how long is that going to last? Does it continue? Look at it. It continues. That's the 28th. Doesn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, it gets even stronger, the heat does. I mean, look at that. 41 degrees above normal. They're in Missouri right there. Let that sink in. 41 degrees above normal. It's 69 degrees at 1 o'clock at night on the 28th here. 69 degrees. 41 degrees above normal. That's crazy stuff. That's crazy. But that's what's shown here on the GFS model. Now, as we go forward, here comes a cold front now. Here comes a cold front on the 29th. You see it barreling down. But if you look at the green, where's that green at? It's way up there in Canada yet. It doesn't make its way down, does it? It does not. The nasty green stuff, which is below zero temperatures, it does not come down out of Canada. It stays up there. And if you look at the south and the east, look at this. On the 30th at 1 p.m., we're 76 degrees here in Tampa Bay. That's about 6 degrees above normal. Look up here. All above normal. The only place it's cold at, again, is up here in the Northeast. It looks like to me, if you live in the Northeast, you're going to be seeing a little bit cooler temperatures than normal. Okay? But the rest of the country, for the most part, y'all, we're going to have above normal temperatures. Once we get that second wave cold front come through and get it out of here, after that's done, we're going to be in a heat dome here. And it looks like we're going to have a roasty Christmas for the most part. Let me go back now to the European model. Let's see what it shows. Again, there's that heat dome right there. Look at that. On December the 20th, look at this. Look how hot it is back here in the central region. Look at this. Major heat dome there. Now, what does it do? Now, there's a little bit of cold air coming into play there. It's a Minnesota, Wisconsin area. That's pretty far below normal. Okay, with the actual temperature there of below zero. That's bad stuff there. But does it travel? Does it get any further? Does it come out of here and dive further south? We cool down a little bit here in the south, but for the most part, guys, look at that. We're still in the 60s there in Tennessee on the 23rd. You go to the 24th. This is Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Eve right there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Look at these temperatures. We got 60 degrees there in Kentucky. 50 degrees there in Evansville, Indiana. 41 in Indianapolis on Christmas Eve. You look down here in the south. We're all in the 60s down here. 60s. South Tampa, 71. This is 7 o'clock in the morning, y'all. 66 there in 67 there in Louisiana, 64 there in Mississippi, and 65 there in Mississippi area. You go to the South Central region there, and you look at Texas. You got 70 degrees there in South Texas, and 60s everywhere else, and as low as 42 degrees, 39 degrees maybe in the northern panhandle of Texas. And you look over there in Oklahoma region, y'all. This is not stuff. This is not bad stuff. Look at this. We're above normal. I mean, way above normal here. So what is the European model and they agree 100%. They all are showing above normal temperatures for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So don't listen to these other freaking crazy people out there that's trying to make you think that you're going to have a really bad Christmas out there with the possibility of severe. Right now, I'll say this right now with fairly good confidence, because the European model and GFS model agree extremely. I don't see a cold south for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And even as far north as Ohio Valley region, don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Look on the 27th. Guys, this is 33 degrees above normal here in places. At 7 a.m. on the morning on December 27th, look how far above normal we are. Actual temperature is at 7 o'clock in the morning. Look at that. You're in the high 60s there in Texas. Southern Illinois, you're 61 degrees at 7 a.m. on the 27th. Y'all, the models agree. The only place that there's a little bit of disagreement, there's a little bit of pouch right here of cooler air down here in the southeast, ever so slightly. But up here in the northeast, it's trending below normal. So below normal temperatures up here, very cold up here in the northeast. Those of you going to, say, New York, bundle up, man. Bundle up. I'm telling you, bundle up in the northeast. If I go forward here, you see that heat dome just don't give away. Down in the south, we stay warm. There's the 28th. And that's as far out as we go, right there. That's the 29th at 7 a.m. And even at this, on the 29th, at 7 o'clock in the morning, what does it look like? Anomaly-wise. Look at this. Even the northeast goes above normal. The south, we're way above normal. Central region, you're above normal. Slightly there, a little bit below normal there in Ohio and Michigan. Then you go over to the South Central region. Y'all, look at this. Way above normal. Way above normal. You go to the the West Coast. What do we got? Way above normal. Slightly below normal up here in the Northwest. So, y'all, I don't want to hear anybody out there that talk about this crazy cold air that might or if come. You know what? It doesn't exist, guys. It doesn't exist. We're going to have a major heat dome. The week of Christmas. That week of Christmas, guys, we're going to be above normal temperatures. Above normal. For most of the country, except for the Northeast. If you're going to New York, you're going to be cold. It's going to be cold up there in New York. If you're going, say, Wisconsin, Minnesota, it's going to be cold there, but it's expected to be cold there. Still might be slightly above normal, but cold. This is a La Nina pattern, James. That is correct. This is what La Nina should look like. So, y'all, I don't see any issues at all. Do you see any travel issues in the country? I don't, except for up here in the Northwest, and maybe up here in the Northeast, and maybe in the Great Lakes region, where you'd find travel issues every once in a while. But y'all, I don't see any travel issues for the most part in the country right now. I don't see it. So, airports should be normal. Should be normal. Delays should be very minimal, unless something crazy happens out there that would cause not weather delays but other delays. I don't see any weather-related delays in any airports right now. I don't see them. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So travel happy and light and fast, and get home as well. I don't see any problems getting home. Now, it's too early to see what Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve is going to look like. I don't know what that looks like yet. We're not far enough out there to see New Year's Eve. But y'all, right now, even New Year's Eve looks like it might be above normal. The GFS model does take us one day further out there in time, and we look at that and go ahead on out there, it takes us all the way out to December the 30th. So we don't get out to the Christmas to New Year's Eve. But look at these above normal temperatures again. Above normal. You go to the east. Look at this. Above normal. The only place we're below normal again is up here in the northeast and across the Great Lakes. Otherwise, on the 30th of January, above normal everywhere except, again, the Great Lakes and the Northeast. The Great Northeast stays cold. It does not appear much of a break for the Northeast when it comes to cold air. It looks like it's pretty well set in there and not going nowhere. And that's what we got right now. And if you look at the snow forecast here real quickly, I'll show you that. Is there any snow issues at all? No. Unless you live up here in the Northeast. That's the only crisis of snow we see between now and December the 30th here on the GFS model. You go over to the west coast. Some really nice Sierra snows there. They're in the California area. And up here in the north, the northwest up here. Some really heavy snow there, which is expected. Should be some snow here. Well, there is some snow coming down there. There's going to be some snow. So if you're going snow skiing out west, it might be okay. It might be okay. Okay? Here's the European model for snow. But for the most part, y'all, do you see any issues at all on this graphic here for travel? Well, again, up here in the Great Lakes, you expect to find some snow. Up here in the northeast up here, say the Great Lakes, you expect to find that snow. Up here in the northeast, you still expect to find the snow, but maybe some travel issues. Say, if you're traveling in the New York area there, when does that snow there come into play? All right, now let's just evaluate Christmas for a second. Let's put up a 24-hour snowfall total. Okay, now let's look at Christmas Eve, and the day before Christmas Eve. Let's look at that. Do you see the snowfall? This is what it looks like on the 22nd. Snow across the Great Lakes. 23rd now. A little bit of snow there coming into upstate New York. Just a little bit. And then there's a little bit. Now, there's a problem right there on the 26th. At 1 o'clock in the morning, you can see that snow there in New York City. As much as 4 or 5 inches of snow there in that area. So, maybe a little bit of travel problem. If you're trying to get home, say, the day after Christmas, you might have a problem getting out of New York. But most people that go to New York for Christmas, they're probably going to stay there until New Year's Eve. And right now, I don't see an issue, guys, at all. I mean, really, 4 or 5 inches of snow in New York is not a big deal. It's not like it's gonna just take the airport and put it in remission. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. They're up at 5. Virginia, that's probably about right. My kids, my wife and I went to bed at 4:30 one morning, one Christmas Eve, and the kids were up at 5 o'clock. That's the truth. We got done wrapping presents at 4:30 in the morning. We always go to Christmas Eve at that point in time at my wife's mother's house, and we never ever wrapped a gift. We always came home after we got back from Christmas Eve, and put the kids to bed, and we'd go in the bedroom, shut the door, put on some music, and we'd wrap gifts. And one morning, one Christmas Eve, we got done wrapping gifts at 4:30 in the morning, and the kids got up at 5 o'clock. That is no kidding. And I tried to encourage them, why don't you guys go back to bed? Santa's already been here, but go back to bed. We tried to put them back in bed, and all they were doing is giggling and laughing like crazy. They all went in one bedroom and jumped into bed, and they were giggling and laughing. And I looked at my wife and said, you know what? They're up. Let's go. Let's do it. And that's what we did. And that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Let that morning be for the kids, you know? But in saying that too, make sure your children understand what this day is about for Christmas. Make sure they understand that it is the birth of Jesus Christ. And make sure they understand the importance of that and what Christmas is all about. And because that's what we do celebrate. Now, I respect the Jewish Hanukkah. I do. And I respect what the belief that they believe and other Hinduism and stuff like that. Y'all, I respect all religions out there. Those religions I just talked about, they're all general religions. They're all general religions. They, the Jewish religion, they believe in God. They just don't think Jesus was a savior. That's the difference. They believe there is a God, though. They believe that God above is there, but they just don't think the Savior's ever came yet. That's okay. They still believe in God, y'all. That's an important thing. They still believe in God, and that's what we have to understand, out there when we're teaching our children things in life. No hate should ever be filled in children's minds, and the only reason they get in kids' minds is because it comes from the parents. And I learned that real fast as a parent. Whatever you say and do as your actions and what you say, these kids are going to repeat that stuff, y'all. That's what they do. So be a good example as parents, as grandparents to your children. You set the example. You always do. You set that example in life, all you do. And I can't stress that enough. So y'all have a great day, a great evening. May God bless you all. Tomorrow morning, I have to go get a blood test done. I see my doctor today. He's at the store today. And I said, Doc, I sent you a text message about getting a blood test. And he said, I put the request in. Why didn't you go? I said, well, I didn't get a reply back from you that it was read, that you did it. So I didn't know. He said, well, if you text message sometime, I always do it, don't I? I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he looked at me. He says, and why don't we just get a cardiology done too on you as well? So over the next 2 weeks, it's going to be fun between now and Christmas. I'll probably wait till the first year. I probably can't wait till the first year. I need to get it done so my insurance claims are out there and all taken care of then. So day tomorrow morning is can't do a live broadcast tomorrow morning. Won't be able to do it. So I might be able to do one. We'll probably do one tomorrow afternoon. But guys, I will promise you, I will do a post out there for you guys. If anything changes for Christmas and Christmas travel, I'll let you know what the models do, y'all. I always do. But right now, I don't see a big issue. We're gonna have one more cool down after this one right here, and I'll show it one more time. There is gonna be one more cool down after this one we got right here. I'll put the anomaly up here, and you watch this cool down happen. Oops, come on, stop it here. But watch this cool down. So here's our cold front right now. You see, hey, way below normal, right? We're way below normal. Then it's going to warm up a little bit. Here it comes. Here comes that heat wave a little bit, just a little bit. Then here comes that next little cool front right there coming in. When does that come in? That comes on this Friday, the 19th, is when it dives into the Great Lakes region and creates below average temperatures here for Friday the 19th. Just it's not crazy like it was, y'all, this time. It's not crazy. Then we get that big, huge heat wave come into play. The only place it stays cold at a little bit slow is still up here in the Ohio Valley region and the Northeast. This is what it looks like on December 22nd. Below normal, above normal, above normal, way above normal, way above normal. Not west, way above normal. So y'all, there is no other. Look at, we all go way above normal on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. The only place that stays cold is up in the Northeast. And that's the only place. And y'all, I think these models are fixed into this right now. I don't see right now that the GFS model and the European model are going to change that dramatically. You can see the Northeast stays below normal. The Southeast down here, we're above normal. North Carolina and Virginia, you're slightly below normal, just slightly. But the Ohio Valley region, look at the Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, even Michigan and Wisconsin up here, and Minnesota, they go above normal. And I don't see anything that's going to make these things change, you guys. I don't see anything. That's what it looks like all the way out to December 29th. It's all above normal temperatures. It's all above normal, y'all. So I don't see nothing. Don't see anything, guys. I don't see it. So I you know what? If you like heat and nice Christmases, say up in the Ohio Valley region and the Great Lakes region, you're probably going to get above normal temperatures for you, and that's good for the kids that are going to go outside and play with some of their new toys. That's a great thing, isn't it? Now, one thing I'll show you before I do get out of here, I do want to show you what is the forecast, though. Okay, what is the forecast for the possibility of rain? Because if we have above normal temperatures, what does that mean? Well, it might mean we might have a possibility of rain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the United States up here again. and I'm gonna put up the GFS model for precipitation. And this is called the composite reflectivity modeling. All right, now let's go forward here. Now let's look at this. Where's all the rain at? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put up reflective type too, so we can see snow and rain. Let's go to the 24th. Now there's that one little rainstorm there that's coming through there. We talked about possibility of some severe weather there on Thursday. There that is right there. Snow up here, rain down here, and lots of rain up here in the northwest. It just continues. That stream of river up there just doesn't go away up here in the northwest. And again, more rain right there on the 21st through the Ohio Valley region. A little bit of a frontal boundary there come through. Now we're getting on the 22nd. Again, snowstorm up in Canada, racing on the Canadian line. Now this is the 24th. This is December the 24th. Now you can see what the 23rd looks like here, guys. This is the 23rd. Not a lot of precipitation on the map, to be honest with you. Not a lot. There's the 24th. I'll go to 7 a.m. in the morning. Here's what 7 a.m. in the morning looks like. Pretty vacant of any rain, isn't it? I'll stop it at, hold on here. I'll stop the 24th at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. A lot of people have Christmas Eve parties going on. Inside, outside, everywhere. There's 1 p.m. There's 7 p.m. No rain. No rain right there at all. No rain. Only rain is back here in California's going to be wet. California's going to be wet here on the GFS model. It's going to be wet. And maybe some really heavy rain there in California. And maybe they're getting in there into Arizona as well. Could be some really heavy rain there in the Phoenix area. And then you look at, you go to the 25th. There's 1 p.m. in the afternoon on the 25th. Guys, look at this. No rain. No precipitation at all. None. So Christmas Day appears to be fantastic. Fantastic. There's 7 p.m. 7 p.m., middle of the night now, at 1 o'clock in the morning on the day after Christmas. Freezing rain and snow up there coming out of Michigan, getting there maybe into Pennsylvania and upstate New York. Could be a trouble there. Now, most people probably won't leave on the 26th if they're visiting family up there. There's the 27th. Still not a lot of precipitation on the map here. So y'all, I don't see. There's the 28th. Fairly good size looking rainstorm there that shows up there on the 28th at 7 p.m. That's a pretty sizable line right there. Shows up. Again, snow over here in the northeast. Freezing rain, sleet, all that mixed there. Rain all the way across the south there. There is absolutely zero chance of any frozen precipitation in the south. Let me repeat that. There is zero chance of any frozen precipitation in the south unless you're getting it out of your own freezer, y'all. That's the only way it's going to happen. There is zero chance. So y'all, have a great evening. God bless you all. I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow. And I am doing these little things now, these little snippet things. If you don't read every post real closely, you might miss something. You might miss something. That's all I can tell you. You might miss a secret word of the day or something out there. And so right now, there's nothing you've missed so far. I can tell you that right now. You have not missed anything. I may go a day or two, and I may do 2 in one day. You never know what I might do. I'm kind of being sneaky here, aren't I? I am. I'm not the Grinch, okay? But what's that little character that the mom and dad plays with there? That they make all kind of antics and pranks and all kinds of stuff. That's me right now. I think that's what I am. I can't think what that character is. My daughter, she puts this little elf on the shelf. That's what it is. Elf on the shelf. I'm the elf on the shelf, y'all. Is what I am. That's what it'll be. I'll be the elf on the shelf. All right, guys. Have a great evening. God bless you all. I'll see you guys.